What? What a weird fucking day this has been. Like, okay, so I'm trying to think like how I even want to start this. I had the thought about, you know, limited availability games, with just how things have been going in like NFTs and Nintendo with the Mario games. I was like, well, what if indies tried doing limited availability shit? And so I was like, well, I could do a bundle. And I was like, well, bundle's kind of tough to organize on this short of notice. Why don't I just do a game jam and then whoever participates, participates? Um, and I thought that'd be really cool. And I was like, well, I need something to get myself out of this sort of funk I've been in. I was working on a project and it wasn't quite, it wasn't me, like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good and it wasn't that interesting, honestly. And so I was like, okay, this will be good motivation. So, I put up the prompt and, um, some people participated and I was, really happy to see that. And, I grinded away on this weird little thought I had about an RPG to make. Um, and then, I posted it, and once the day came, and I was like, cool, okay, so it's midnight, I got the game page up on time and everything, awesome. Um, and so I thought, it'd be cool if it made like 50 bucks. um, and, I was up for about like half an hour after midnight, and I had made 50 bucks, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's actually about how much I'd hoped to make during the day. Great. Well, I'm gonna go to bed, and maybe I'll have 100 when I wake up. Maybe I'll make like a couple hundred. And I was realistically like, we're gonna make maybe 100 that day, and that'll be pretty cool. Um, and so I go to bed, wake up, brush my teeth, do my stretches, whatever, and I check the page and it's made like $93. I'm like, oh wow, okay, that better than I expected. It's only like 7 in the morning. Great. Still plenty of time to actually make, maybe 200. That'd be really cool. Um, and it made a grand. And I was like, what the fuck? And then PC Gamer did an article, and then Rami Ismail did a retweet with what is basically an optimal endorsement of the game. Like, very clearly stating, like, this thing is a nightmare, but if you're into this kind of nightmare, it's exactly your thing. Um, which, the thing is that, like, a bunch of people, really helped to build up the press about it. And the amount of press, like, just from the PC Gamer article, like, I got a lot of links and downloads from them, purchases from that, like 50% probably. And then most of the rest was Twitter, and then, some off of itch.io and some off of search results, because people just decided to look up the game or name of it or whatever. And then it made another grand, and then it made 3 total, and then we ended out at just over 4. Um, like, I for those who don't know, back in December, I ran the Shorter Games with Worse graphics bundle because there was the whole thing with Cyberpunk, and people were talking about how, you know, the whole Shorter Games Worse graphics sentiment was going around. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I can put together a bundle for that. Like, because I saw tabletop RPG Cyberpunk bundles were doing well. Some particularly themed bundles that way. I was like, well, I don't do Cyberpunk, but the shorter games and worse graphics, like, I don't tend towards short games, but worse graphics, absolutely. Um, and I'm sure I know people who do that too. So, I spread the word about it, and then a couple other people also spread the word about it and got a bunch of people to participate. And, that was 25 developers, and I expected that whole thing to make maybe a grand. We each walk away with, what was it, like 40 bucks a piece, because there was 25 of us. Um, and it made over 8 grand, and we each walked away with 300. So now I am blessed enough to be in a situation where I am staying rent-free at a friend's place. So, um, I take care of some things around the place, keep it, up to code and all. And I get to spend a lot of my time working on games, and I'm very appreciative of that because, for 4 of the past 8 years I was homeless, so um, I'm used to operating on a very minimal budget, and then you know this kind of money comes across, and I'm just like I don't even like I'm used to living off of about 200 a month, 250, 300 if I'm like going to the Asian market that's nearby that has a bunch of pricey but high quality stuff. Like that's a $300 a month. Um, and so I'm looking at, like after payment processing and everything, I don't know how much exactly is going to get taken out for that, but I'm still looking at like over 3 grand, you know. Um, and understanding like that's so much fucking money. like I'm not even sure. I'm having trouble processing that amount of money. The most I've had in my bank account, um, outside of this last year, is about 1,600 bucks. Then I got a micro grant, and the stimulus check hit within a couple weeks of each other, and it was like, oh, okay, so I have like, you know, and I had a couple hundred in the bank, so that was a 2,600 I had in the bank. And I was like, oh wow, I've never had this much money, like, great. Um, and I spent a bit of it, because it was like, oh, okay, I can finally, get these couple things taken care of. Oh, I can finally, like, buy a Switch Lite and play Animal Crossing with my friends and all that. Like, that'd be really cool to do. And so I spent, a decent amount of money this month, but it still wasn't even, like, a grand. Not even close. like, um, and then this kind of thing happens, and I'm just like, okay, well, I was well off for me, and now I'm really like I'm in a financial position that I've never been in before, um, which is great. But I also understand that this is, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's like certain about this. The next game, I can't possibly expect it to do this well. Um, this was something I spent a week on. That's the thing that really is fucking with me right now. Is this this is a project I spent a week on. I have projects I spent years on that made like, release day $40. That was like my first commercial game. I remember Legend of Moros didn't make $100 within the first week. And that was 2.5 years of my life. And then I spend a week on this, and granted, I have a much better understanding of game design and marketing and a lot of things. It's just really, it's a lot to process all at once. That's another reason. That's really why I'm recording this video right now, is because, um, like, in part because I'm just, like, my eyes are tired, but my body is so wired. I'm like, I'm not sleeping before 3 in the morning right now. Like, there's no way, physically. Like, I can't, I'm having trouble, like, sitting still in this chair right now to do this. Um, but I also wanted to get my thoughts fresh because, um, I don't know when this is going to happen again, and I it's just fucking weird. Um, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for all the help that I've gotten to get to this point. I'm very grateful for everybody that, you know, put in money on this. Um, I'm grateful for the people that, you know, played this and actually enjoyed it. You know, people that actually, you know, checked out my other games, followed after this. You know, the people that have been around for years. My friends that help spread the word. Um, my friends who were, you know, emotional support through all the shit. Like, um, I, I, I really, I came into this year at the very start, guns blazing, like, okay, we're going to really, you know, we're going to give this, we're going to make this the best possible year that I can, you know? And February was a good month, and then a lot of March was just me like floundering, trying to get back on top of things. And then I ended off with this. And, you know, I I didn't think this was going to be the way that this went at all. Like, wildest dreams, I expected this to make a grand. Um, so, thank you. Um, and I'm just gonna keep making more weird shit. Like when I first, you know, I'm trying to think of like what's the appropriate amount of backstory to give to this. I don't get along very well with my family. Um, you know, 8 years in, we will be on like the Christmas phone call on Zoom, and my stepdad's still asking me when I'm going to rejoin society and get a real job. You know, um, so it's been tough. It's been tough with, you know, just emotionally, um, as a solitary developer, as someone who's seen like a lot of people hit that success that I've wanted. Um, and also just, you know, it's been a lot of shit. Like my dental situation's totally fucked. Like I'm missing more than one tooth. You know, I've slept on concrete, and you know, I've had fleas. Like that was a rough fucking time. That was a real down and out moment. Um, 'Cause it's like, well, how can it get much worse than this, you know? Um, it has been a really, really, like it's been shit years with good moments, you know? And you know, this sort of, you know, moment, this kind of day, it's been like, okay, well, maybe things are changing. Maybe it is actually going to be worth it. So, fuck, you know, like, it's just wild. I'm in shock. Um, this doesn't fix everything, you know. Like, um, I'm not financially stable. This doesn't like secure everything forever, but this is an all things remaining constant. I'm okay for the immediate future. Um, and that's really fucking cool. That's it's not something I get to say, you know. it's not something I've gotten to save for a while. So thank you all. Um, I, I'm glad that you've stuck around and have shown interest in the weird games that I make. And I promise to make more of them in the future. I guess I like working on big games. I would like to work on a properly big adaptation of this one, or I might just stick to small games. I don't know. I'm gonna take a few days to mentally recover from this because I'm just reeling in it right now. Like, it's been quite a day. Um, but it's been a fucking cool one, so thank you. Um, and I promise to keep making more weird things. So, um, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are, have a good day, have a good night. Um, and yeah, thanks for everything. Take care.